A big blast of Arctic air ready to push into the bluegrass state. We'll track that and the snow chances that are increasing coming up.
We called her a beast in the water. Sometimes she just attacked the water and just really gave it her all every day.
The Woodford County community continues to remember Maddie Jackson and rally around her teammates who are competing at regionals.
This gun collector thought he found the perfect deal online. What went wrong? You'll find out coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. Some cold-hearted weather in store for Valentine's Day. We are tracking an Arctic blast as we head into our weekends.
There's nothing warm about it. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He has the details on some dangerously cold temperatures and even, Chris, the potential for some snow, right?
Yeah, chances are you want it. We've got it. Of course, that's anything besides warmer weather that we've got for you coming up over the next few days. Winter weather lovers, take heart. You're going to like this forecast, I think, over the next several days. Arctic air on the move again across the Great Lakes and the Plain States. That is surging toward the south and southeast. Clear skies into parts of the region now will quickly cloud over as that boundary inches closer to the region later tonight. And by the middle of tomorrow, that is making its way across Kentucky with gusty winds, crashing temperatures, and what is likely to be a nice band of snow showers and squalls coming in behind that. And some of those could be heavy at times. And then the Arctic cold winds will really settle into the region as we go into Saturday night and Sunday morning with wind chills going below zero during that time. Valentine's Day troubles. Let's track it for you. Think it's going to mean some slick travel at times tomorrow afternoon as snow showers and squalls arrive. Light accumulations. This isn't like we're talking about a big snow coming from this. It's just going to be some quick squalls that come through, blind you for a little bit, reduce visibility to under a mile or so, and they go on their merry way. Some flurries, and another one comes through. But the winds will blow that snow around. Guys, we could have gusts tomorrow 40 miles an hour as single-digit temperatures show up by tomorrow evening. Now, coming up in a little bit, we'll take you through your Valentine's Day and show you how it all works out with the hour-by-hour forecast. And I'm also tracking the potential for more accumulating snows by Sunday night.
Thank you, Chris. The Woodford County community continues to come together to remember Maddie Jackson, the teenager killed in a car crash earlier this week on Versailles Road.
Today, swimmers from several central Kentucky schools, including Maddie's team, are competing in Woodford County in a regional meet. Hillary Thornton was also at that meet. She tells us how Maddie's teammates are remembering her in our top story at 5:30.
They're doing what they think Maddie would want them to do, and hopefully they can perform to their best.
Back in the water competing less than a week after losing their friend and teammate Maddie Jackson, Woodford County High School swim and dive team is in the pool for regionals, a meet Maddie would have been swimming.
We called her a beast in the water. Sometimes she just attacked the water and just really gave it her all every day.
A role model for many on the team through her dedication in the water and also by the way she lived her life.
Her time spent in the water was her ability to showcase her talents, but the fact that the way she walked her life with Christ at the center of her life every day, that speaks louder than anything, and that we know with this horrific loss that she's touching more lives today, and she's smiling in heaven right now.
A young life that touched many, evident by the tributes found inside here at Falling Springs by both Maddie's teammates as well as their opponents. Seen in the pictures on swim caps and by yellow ribbons, as well as through the more than $16,000 raised in Maddie's memory to help her family.
Absolutely, it's a tribute to what Maddie's life was all about. She was a young lady that if she walked in this building, she'd light it up.
Racing against the clock for their fastest times, but unified as they compete, striving to live like Maddie.
Just get in the water and do their best. That's what Maddie would want them to do.
In Woodford County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
And for more information on how to donate to the Maddie Jackson Memorial Fund, just visit our website, WKYT.com.
We continue to follow a developing story out of Whitley County. One man was seriously injured after investigators say his house blew up this afternoon in Corbin. The explosion happened about 1 o'clock at a home on South Kentucky Street. Firefighters say the explosion also sparked a fire. A witness tells us he rushed to the burning home to rescue the man who was inside. Police say the victim, 55-year-old Roger Ansbach, was taken to the hospital with burns covering most of his body. Firefighters are not sure what caused the explosion. Coming up on WKYT News at 6, we will hear from the witness who ran into that house and rescued the man.
Police are looking for a man accused of opening several mailboxes at a post office and stealing what was inside of them. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Laurel County. Deputies believe this man came to the Pittsburgh U.S. Post Office at about 10 Wednesday night. Detectives say 5 large mailboxes inside the post office were forced open and the items inside were taken out. Surveillance cameras at the post office show the man leaving in a white van. In Franklin County, police have put out a warrant for a teenager accused of robbing a gas station. According to the State Journal, a grand jury has indicted 19-year-old Joshua Lopez for robbery. Frankfort police say back in November, Lopez, in a mask, came into the Speedy Mart on Holmes Street, punched the clerk, and took off with a donation jar. Once surveillance photos of the crime were released, one of Lopez's relatives came forward and identified him. And in Spencer County, a child has died after what the sheriff calls a terrible tragedy. The sheriff says newly elected Spencer County Magistrate Brian Bayers ran over and killed his 18-month-old son at their home this morning. Deputies have not said if the child was in front of or behind the car when it was hit. The incident is still under investigation.
They want to make sure that they are prepared. Today, teachers had some hands-on practice on what to do if there is a school shooting. Kristen Kennedy is at Providence Christian School in Georgetown, where state police taught the teachers the basics. It's a story that's new at 5:30.
State police set up scenarios inside Providence Christian Academy to show teachers and administrators how to protect their students in case a violent incident happens.
We do a fire drill once a month. We do our tornado drills regularly, an earthquake drill, and we have certain procedures that we follow.
Providence Christian Academy Administrator Rick White wants school shooting responses to be as ingrained into his teachers' minds as are other emergency-related situations.
Very seldom are you familiar with an active shooter in your building. And so today, that'll be a process.
His teachers participated in KSP's Safe Schools Initiative, scenario-based training that puts teachers in high-stress situations as true to life as possible, forcing them to come up with ways to react to protect students.
We want them to understand that they do have the power to win in these circumstances. They need to know that they've got that inside of them, and that's what it comes down to. Training, training, training.
State police don't only go through these types of situations with school leaders. Trooper Wilson says they will also work with other organizations requesting help. In Georgetown, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Teachers went through several different scenarios today as part of that training. State police provide this training when they do get a request.
Time is running out to sign up for health insurance without facing any penalties. Midnight on Sunday is the deadline to enroll for coverage through Connect in 2015. You can go sign up online, or you can go to the Connect store at the Fayette Mall here in Lexington. But if you miss the deadline, you could face a tax penalty of $325 per person, or 2% of household income. That penalty would be taken from your refund when you file your 2014 tax return.
Buying items online can be a great way to find some deals out there. It can also backfire, as one gun collector discovered. Tim is an avid gun collector who thought he found a great deal online. The collectible was 20% less than the going rate. So he quickly contacted the seller by phone.
And this guy knew his firearms, knew what made them collectible.
Tim was eager to get the item before it got away, so as requested, he sent the seller a postal money order for $1,000.
I hadn't heard from him in 4 or 5 days, so I tried to contact him, and the number that I had went straight to voicemail. So I emailed and kept doing this for a few days afterwards, and just nothing ever came of it.
Tim had been scammed, and he was not alone. Postal inspectors were already investigating dozens of similar complaints.
In every case, the person had bid on this particular auction item and they never received their product.
Investigators soon realized all the complaints were actually against the same person, Paul Stephen Webster, who just kept creating different accounts.
He would get about $10,000 and so many victims, then it would get shut down. Then he would recreate a new one.
A piece of advice from inspectors: if you send a money order, request a signature from the recipient. That evidence was invaluable in tracking down Webster.
I had a tracking number, I had a signature of the person who signed for it, and I could actually research where that mail and where those payments went to.
Webster pled guilty to 1 count of mail fraud. Postal inspectors warn consumers to always be cautious and protect themselves when conducting financial transactions online. Tracking numbers are a good example of documenting the transaction.
Valentine's Day may be tomorrow, but florists already have their hands full today. Still ahead on WKYT News at 5:30, we'll show you how they're preparing for the rush.
I'm Bill Bryant. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray on talk that he may be interested in running for Congress. And Senator Rand Paul now says we should do away with the U.S. tax code, and he promises a new plan. The bottom line is ahead.
I'm Victor Puente in Lexington, where a van full of flowers was stolen the day before Valentine's Day. Coming up at 6, you'll have to hear from a florist who had to make sure that theft didn't impact her customers.